What is up, YouTube?
Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're live. Hey, guys, be ready. We're live. What is up, everybody? Glad to be with you guys. We're jumping here into the chat. We're going to go ahead and get the links sent out to all the places.
Our names, too.
Jeff, that was almost a cackle.
Yeah, that's not simple. So I'll have to do that later.
It's way easy.
Wow.
No, I have to go into Photoshop in a different computer and change
All
that.
right, I can do my best Matt impression. Hi, my name's Matthew.
Today sucked.
Today suck.
Just Matt.
Just Matt.
Just Matt.
I'm just Matt.
I thought you don't go by
Number one
Matt.
Brad Keselowski fan.
Just Matt. Connor Gillage wins race.
I knew you were faking when you said you don't go by Matt.
I don't.
Ah, man.
Anyway, so what'd you guys think? Well, we're not
Calm
going
down, DJ.
Golly, man.
Way too fast.
Chill.
What are we talking about?
on the podcast yet.
What, you closed?
We're
You got the
live.
poll up yet? No, come on, man.
I'm working on it now. I might as well.
I didn't even drop the intro music.
Yeah, let me
Yeah, we haven't even done the intro. Like, I'm just trying to get us ready to go because I feel like we're going to be a spicy one today.
Spicy one. The only cold
That was the
take is
longest
Jeff
three
over here,
sentences I
his
think I've
lack
ever
of
wrote.
commitment.
Stop.
Ever
what
since
today
Jimmy
is,
left and
boys?
broke his heart.
You know what today is? Triangle Day. Love triangles.
The poll is in the chat, y'all. So go ahead and drop that when you get a chance. Go play with the poll. Anyway,
hey.
let me know when y'all are
We're
ready.
sophisticated. We use triangles.
Are we going to have a debate at the end of the show?
I have no idea what we're gonna have.
We can fight about whatever you want.
How many corners does Pocono really have?
Oh, I'm dying on this hill.
All right. I'm gonna save it for the very end of the show. We'll have a
Yes.
lively debate. We'll need everybody. Actually, we're gonna need a second poll
Yes, we will.
for
That's
the end
fair.
of the show.
That's fair.
100%. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys ready for me to start for real? And to get interrupted?
Give me one second. I'm just putting this debate note in. How many triangles does Pocono have?
No, that's not it.
I don't know. It just sounds fun to say.
That's not
later.
what you said. That's not what you said.
I don't. I want. I want to put this in and make you read it,
I'm gonna try
and then grill you for reading my stuff verbatim, which I've told you not to.
No, that's not what you said.
My horn can pierce the sky.
Was it Daniel Suarez with the unicorn?
Who am I? What did you call his car?
Cannot
Can I
say
say
that.
it?
No.
Can I say the alternative version?
I don't know.
Alternative version.
I think you just did.
Well, I actually didn't mean to say that.
All right. What's up, Kuzman? All right. Let's go ahead.
Wait, can I say the alternative?
big
Say
dog
it
in
quickly
the-
before we get going.
We got Big Dog
yeah,
in the chat.
Yeah, so the alternative name is the autistic unicorn car.
Calm
By
down.
Daniel Suarez.
Anyway. All right.
Calm
What's up,
down.
JFB?
I don't know. You really wanted to say that.
Unicorns are on the spectrum.
Y'all stop talking so we can start this already.
I think that's fair.
The race at Pocono has come and gone, and Chase
We love Pocono! Go Triangles.
Briscoe holds off the all-time winner Denny Hamlin while also saving fuel. Matt, as you can see, brought a triangle, and we
Triangles.
are here for the speed. What is up, everybody? Glad to be with you. My name is DJ. I'm joined by
What's up, Jake? Sorry, just choked. Sorry. Just like Denny Hamlin.
What's up?
Yeah.
Matthew here, local Brad Keselowski fan, and I
Triangle
want to say
Aficionado.
thank you. That is so much better. Triangles are great. Love Pocono. Can't wait for next year.
Where did you even get that?
Amazon.
You bought
He
that?
bought it
just
on
for
Prime.
this?
It was
But-
actually,
on Prime.
there was a little a code, and I just scanned it on Friday, and they delivered it the next day.
You bought it on Prime Day?
They did.
Oh, God.
No.
All right, well,
He didn't say. They had it on the Prime broadcast. He scanned the QR code.
It was on the window.
Don't lie.
If you want to support Triangles, scan barcode.
If you missed your chance to buy your tickets to the sold out Pocono race, you can still show your support.
You can see where the tunnel turn is.
The missing one.
Yeah,
That's the bump.
yeah, that's the bump.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Anywho.
funny. All right. Also, let us know in the chat. We've got the poll going up, so let us know what you guys thought of the race so far.
Jeff, by the way, whatever.
Well, listen.
No, I
Yeah,
I know.
welcome
I know.
to the seat. How's it feel?
Feels all right. I missed my table, though.
Forgot.
That's literally the reason why Matt moved.
Yeah,
I just wanna say
I
my
got
name more.
vetoed.
It
I mean,
happened.
I got
gotta wait
something
until
go-
I'm
I have
off.
something going on 1 week.
Sorry, man.
I lost my seat.
Bye.
Move your
Bye.
move your feet, lose your seat.
I really just didn't
Hey,
want to
man.
move the earbuds.
You
That's-
did move the earbuds.
Well, I had to the first time. It would be weird if I sat there last week and there's no one in the seat.
I feel like our fans and our watchers, like they deserve like consistency.
Wow.
Well, they don't get it here. Some shows are good, some shows are not.
Yeah,
I love-
this side is consistent.
I love how JFB
this
has.
side is totally random. You never know who
we,
you're gonna
we
get.
have a new
Stick.
nickname for this, Matt. It's called the Tism 500.
That's wild.
Wow. That's a little egregious. It's just a triangle. Chill.
Tism 500.
JFB.
500.
Yeah.
The Tism 500.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Yenny with all the hashtags.
Retire the Gen 7 boycott NASCAR.
Making racing great again. The tricky fuel save. Hashtag Xfinity Series better 2025. Yeah, you know.
I mean, I thought today was pretty good.
I thought the race
I
was
did.
all right.
Yeah.
that was
Do you guys want to jump into the ratings?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jeff, we'll start with you. I'm still adjusting some
That way you
stuff.
can make him feel better.
I mean, I
Alright.
thought it was a green flag.
You have a green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. Yeah, a high green. I wouldn't quite say a checkered, but it was a high green flag. Had a little bit of everything. You know, I personally like the strategy, especially towards the end with the whole Briscoe gas incident that added a lot of drama. And
I agree.
yeah, you know, I thought it was good.
Excuse me.
Good green flag. Solid green flag.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd give it a green flag. It would be perfect if Brad won, but shot himself in the foot like
Could've
3
been.
times.
There was
I
a
don't know how
point-
many times you're gonna come back from nuking your own race, but I'd give it a green flag. I thought it was good. Like you said, the fuel saving part of it, that was very entertaining. I think some of the crew chiefs just lie on the radio and it's like, oh man, we're really short, just to like psych out the competition or something. There's always
Yeah.
mind games going on because he had plenty of fuel.
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, it's possible the engineer may have over
Anyone can be an engineer.
I don't know.
It really doesn't take a lot of science, I guess.
We also kind of saw the same thing with Denny Hamlin, Michigan. I think it was.
Yeah.
Ended up having plenty of fuel left, even though they told him that he was running.
You're
kinda thin.
unbelievably
I don't know.
short.
Maybe they overcompensate. I don't really know,
Yeah.
but he had enough, and he had enough to do a burnout until his tires got.
Yeah, he
destroyed.
cooked the
So,
tires. What do you think, Jake?
I'm gonna go yellow.
Yellow flag?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Don't like
I do
triangles?
like the fuel strategy. Like I like that, especially like I used to not because we had a bunch of them, but like nowadays, like we really only get maybe typically 2, sometimes maybe 3 a year. Not a lot of fuel saving races. So I'm cool with that. I like the strategy. We saw the field flip a whole bunch at different times, and flipping the stage and just you not pit. Take 2 tires, less fuel, maybe take 4, more
Pit
fuel
when
for
it's
a short-
closed. I mean, that's an option too.
Not a
Pit
good
road's
one.
closed.
Not a
We can
good
still
one,
pit.
but,
It is an option.
It's an option.
So I think, but the frustration for me is the inability to pass.
I get that.
It was really tough.
Yeah.
Really, like restarts, 2 laps, 3 laps, a lot of passing, good racing, a lot of cars that they're side by side in front. So you get a big draft, and all of a sudden there's a third guy introduced. There's a lot of that, but once they get strung out single file, unless you have something going drastically wrong, it's pretty much over.
Am I mistaken to think there was more passing in the beginning of this race? Than
I
the
felt
latter
like
half?
it,
It
but
felt like it.
Do you
but
think that has to do with the temperature? And
No, I think
daytime?
Clean track.
I think it's because the first stage was 30 laps.
Oh, it was a short run.
Yeah, pretty
Versus
short. And then the
65
second
laps.
stage is 65 laps, but
Yeah.
there's multiple cautions, multiple restarts, multiple opportunities for passing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like your strung out period, quote unquote, or whatever, is there was less versus a solid 30 laps at the end. Whereas like everybody got strung out, fuel saving mode started,
Yeah.
no passing. Because I think Hamlin was trying to pass and couldn't. I think Blaney was trying to pass and couldn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Would you equate that down to like a package or the car or the
It's
track?
the car.
You think it's the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
think that's
Xfinity
consistent.
race was a lot different. It was very similar to the truck race. Truck race, tough to pass.
Yeah.
Very, very similar arrow numbers. So, but yeah, DJ?
So I have to apologize to everybody because I accidentally pressed checkered flag in the vote when I voted.
Accidentally.
And it was
Look at
not.
this guy.
I did not. I was going to go green flag.
He heard all ours.
Closet Briscoe fan.
Closet green flagger.
Why?
Or checker
Why
flagger.
green?
green. I thought it was very entertaining. I pulled a Nate description. What? I thought it was funny. All right. Anyway, sorry, Nate. Anyway,
Not unless you don't know who Nate is.
that's fair. Look it up. Anyway, the so I thought it was good. I liked the end of the race because I mean that last what was the last pit or that last window, like 25 laps?
Something like that.
27, 28.
Yeah,
something
I mean,
that.
like I checked my watch, like several points, my heart rate was going up because I was just like stressing, like what's gonna happen, like, and I'm not like I don't have a lot invested whether Hamlin or Briscoe or Blaney, like whatever, like other than I did have Hamlin in my fantasy league.
Yeah.
So like other than that, the 1 point, like it didn't make
Yeah.
a huge difference to me, but it was just the whole like, dude, he's saving a lot. Can he make it? Like I thought that
It was a
exciting.
good story.
And then the passing was great. And Briscoe has had what 3 poles in a row. So it was kind of nice to see him finally like, all right, like you finally were able to put it together and finish one.
Yeah. I
So
think
good story was a good way to put
I
it.
think on that same note that at least what was being relayed to those who were watching, that they were saying that at that beginning of that window that Chase Briscoe had to make up, I think, like 6 laps worth of
No,
fuel.
it wasn't that much.
It was something like that. Or
I
they were
think it
saying
was
something-
What I heard, no.
Oh, it was
when
6,
he started.
but they also had during the yellow too. So that was probably
that
a
was
big part
before
of
the
it.
yellow. Yes.
Yep. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, maybe.
So
Yeah.
before the yellow, they were saying he was roughly going to be like 6 laps short, and then like he saved a bunch during that caution, and then I mean at that point it was pretty much just raw, saving, just how you would like easing into the corner and not shifting later, or earlier rather, so that way you don't have to, use as much fuel or whatever. I don't know all the mechanics of it, but I mean, I thought it was very entertaining because you got to the point where it's like, okay, we're at that 6 lap mark, like 6 to go. Is he going to run out of gas?
Yeah.
And then it's like the next lap and the next lap. So I felt like it added a lot of, drama. I really liked it personally,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I thought it was some of the things he was doing. Not a lot of brake, a lot of coasting in the corner, like you're saying. But also, he did try killing it.
Yeah.
Which is it's just really hard to do and just not easy in this car. Not like the old car, which you
Right.
could do like a lot easier. But his team, he actually tried it like once or twice, and he seems like, hey, don't worry about that. Just focus doing what you've been doing. Like it just so like the old days of like diving in there and killing the motor.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. You just go and clutch it in, maybe a little bit of brake.
Yeah.
So
Drops
I'm
on the
interested.
RPMs.
People are saying in the chat that Twitter's like in flames right now based off of this car. I'm gonna go take a peek.
Well, I mean, it would make sense. I mean, we saw clearly a guy who was at a fuel disadvantage, coasting, trying to save fuel,
And was going faster.
was arguably going faster, which I got to figure that out.
No,
Somehow.
they said he started running better lap times when he was saving than when he was not saving.
That's insane.
That's a little weird.
That's weird.
also,
but then
couldn't
the
that-
guys
I'm
who
sorry.
weren't saving, the guys who weren't saving could have passed him. So it's like I get the frustration. You
Yeah.
know?
But couldn't that also come down to just how you as an individual driver drive?
could
like
be.
honestly, like he was saying in his post race interview, it's like I tend to overdrive the car. So maybe because
I could tell you, based off of my ton of experience in iRacing, that
Years
as-
and years of knowledge.
I know. I could just say I'm as experienced in iRacing as Dale Jr. is as a crew chief, but
He's
as-
got
with-
way more wins than you.
he does. No, I have 1 win.
No way.
Tied.
You're
I did.
tied.
But Jake pushed me to that win, and that was totally because Jake was in the lobby with me, so I wouldn't
By
have got
the
the win
way-
otherwise.
He's over there like, I got you too, bud.
But my point is I was
real,
going to say
real
that-
quick. Chase Briscoe is number 5 trending on Twitter right now.
Dang.
dang.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
probably
keep
because
you
he needs
guys
a hat.
posted.
Probably. But no, I was going to say that I think that it's very easy to, like we said, overdrive the turn and then realize you're leaving speed on the table because you're thinking all about speed as opposed to let it, because for example, sometimes it's better to go into the turn slow so you can come out of the turn faster, especially on a track
Yeah,
like this
I get
that has those long straightaways.
Yeah.
It might be better to coast in because, and it again, depends on your driving style.
Sure.
But maybe Briscoe was
Sure.
just pushing it a little too much, and him coasting in gave him a better drive out, and that helped him speed up his lap times a little bit.
I get that.
Just a
Okay.
thought.
Yeah.
And I mean, on the same note about about what you just said, Briscoe, if you ever watch this by chance, on the off chance you do, as a fellow bald brother, just shave it, bro.
Just
You're
go
bald?
for
It's
it.
worth it.
Yeah. Why don't you do the
Are
reveal?
you bald?
I am bald. I've been bald for like
I don't
last,
know.
like,
I don't
4
know that
years.
anyone has ever seen that on the show.
for like the last 4 years, bro.
If you're gonna bring it up, you gotta-
No, I'm just saying, like for real, like dude, like you get out of the car and you go to you take your helmet off, and it's like, bro, just shave it, dude.
Here's a question: if we have an opportunity to sponsor the side of that, right there, would you be willing to?
Yeah,
get
would
a
you be
tat-
willing? Chrome dome tattoo?
I may have got
Nah,
offers in
nah,
the
big
inbox.
dog.
What about like just Jeff on the mouth?
That is a hard no, brother. That is hard.
I do
no.
like Yenny.
You will have to commit to this seat though, and it'll have to be on the left side to get a good camera shot.
You'd have to.
That is
It's personal branding.
negatory.
It's personal branding.
yeah.
I
So
don't need no.
I think
personal
you could do
branding.
it.
Right. I mean, I thought we were just gonna have like a fair split. You get 50, we'll split the other 50.
If I were to get any tattoo for the sake of this podcast, I would not be paying for it.
Okay,
Alright.
logo right on the
I
back.
think it's funny. Yenny in the chat saying, shout out to 2311 for having the worst team set up on their car's brake systems.
Honestly,
They put 3 for 3 on sabotage.
that
The
is
rides there.
fantastic to bring that up because that I don't think I've seen another team just completely sabotage their team. Like it just
Right.
doesn't make sense.
Their
How do
race
all
winning
three
speed.
of them?
NASCAR in there and shave down their brake rotors a little bit.
How do
This
all
is what
three
you-
of them have the same issue?
It's all based off of your. I mean, they're all sharing information, so it's all based on like your brake bias settings, what rotor you're running, maybe what pad. I think there's
They're legitimately just running the same cars.
there's some options that maybe could be, they could be like, yeah, this is faster, higher, risk of
risk.
like a failure, but this is faster, this is better. You know what I mean? Maybe it's lighter, helps you put weight
So
where you
Toyota-
want it versus where you got it.
It's just so crazy that all three of them came with. I mean, like we've seen things where it's like, oh, Toyotas are blowing up the brake rotors, or they
I was
do
gonna
this,
say.
but not like 3 for 3 of the same team. You know, like
Toyota
Look.
seems to have a thing about brake rotors.
Yeah.
it's something.
I
It's
mean,
something about getting to the
bro,
playoffs.
you're doing something wrong when the camera crew is filming your brake rotor on the apron and it is liquefying. on the
That
side
was
of the apron.
wild.
That was weird, right?
Like,
That-
I
that-
bro,
there's no way it was liquefying, but there was
it-
something
it
weird
looked-
with whatever
it
was
looked
laying
like
down
it.
there.
The way the sun
I don't know
was
if the
coming
sun
off
was
it,
glaring off of brake fluid or something,
Something,
but it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
weird.
It looked.
It legit looked like a
Bad.
T1000 out there just melting. I was expecting it to just all of a sudden pop up. Like,
Oh, that's a great reference.
There goes my brakes. that was Reddick's last brake rotor. Leaving the car.
yeah.
Anywho,
Random thoughts.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you guys want to get into the race, or do we want to talk about your fishing trip?
Nah, let's just go into the race.
yeah, we can get into the race.
Wasn't much that went on their fishing trip.
We're already talking about the race. We went fishing. It was fun. I caught a fish. Matt
Yeah.
refused to touch it.
I will not touch fish. Nope. I don't trust them. Beady
That's
eyes.
the whole story.
I don't trust them.
All right. Anyway, all right. So let's move on into the race. So, so we ended up getting a starting rain delayed because of the weather, which
It was perfect for me.
honestly it
I was
worked
2.5
out.
hours late.
We were
so-
able to watch. Me and Jake watched the Indy race. That actually was really good.
That was awesome.
Road America.
Dude, if it
Great.
wasn't for the rain delay, like they're both starting head to head again.
Yeah.
Like, gross. Obviously, last week with Gateway, it wasn't head to head. It was nice. We were able to do the podcast and tune into that race. It was awesome. But
Yep.
again, like a great race. And dude, the Road America race was amazing.
It was good.
Holy
A
crap.
Really good race.
That was better than today's Cup race.
And it was.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Man.
bro. I'm telling you, it
lap,
was
like, what was it? Lap 1, there was already a caution.
all the highlights of Dale Earnhardt driving through the grass, like making passes, all this crazy stuff. That's what today's race was.
That's wild.
I think it was
the
I wish I
grass.
saw it. I might go back and watch some of the highlights.
It's
Bro.
worth it. McLaughlin.
Who won?
Door banging each other.
Hello. Who do you think?
Palau.
Oh, I didn't.
Palau.
Blackwood's been doing
Palau.
pretty good.
Hello.
Palau.
Palau. That's what he does.
Whatever.
Never mind.
Hello.
But no, it was crazy.
It was
Over
really good.
everybody over driving, just in the. I mean,
Everyone ran
somebody
out
in
of
the
fuel.
dirt every lap.
Everybody
Every
ran out of
single
fuel
lap.
on the very last lap. There was a bunch of cars that ran out at pit exit. So like
Oh,
literally
no.
just made it across the start finish line.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's out of fuel.
And then
Yeah.
there's like the coolest moment from motorsports this year, in my opinion. DJ, you had a video. You showed it to me because I literally ran out of problem with my well. I had to go fix my
I think
well.
I think it was Rosenquist.
And so he runs out of fuel on the cooldown lap, stops, gets out, sees fans, like waves his hand, like trying to get a drink. They throw him a water, hits the ground, breaks open. He gets a sip. Next person throws him a beer. So it's obviously all shooken up, just cracks his beer and just
Well, first off,
pounds this
he
beer,
catches
dude.
it. So like they yeet it over the fence. He catches it, and in one motion, just and and just starts chugging this thing,
Dude.
foam all over the place. And I'm like,
That's some
yeah.
90s stuff.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, is this IndyCar or NASCAR? This is what you see in NASCAR.
This is the America I want to be a part of. Like, I love it. Yeah, no, that was pretty awesome. But no, the race was great. So it was nice that we got to see that.
Yeah,
but,
it was good.
You know, Hocevar in stage 1 has one of the craziest staves I've ever seen in a car.
The Tokyo Drift.
Dude,
Oh,
that,
yeah, he
Tokyo
was
Drift.
sideways.
the roof flaps
Yeah.
were up.
Insane.
I don't think we've seen anybody save a next gen car with the roof flap up.
There's maybe been one or two, but
I don't think so. The
Bell-
roof flap
If
comes
Ryan
up,
was in it,
it's
it'd be
over.
upside down.
I
We were that close to getting a flip at
think
Pocono.
Dang, bro.
Bell might have had one or two that were pretty close because he's had some good ones. But I
Hocevar is
don't know.
consistently
Hey, if
saving them.
somebody knows it, send it to us. Tag us in it.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
don't
see
know.
it
That's-
because I can't remember one where the roof flap
was
came
gonna
up
say-
and he saved it.
If
Yeah.
there is, then I can't remember the last time.
And he kept running to finish the stage. It's not
Yeah.
like next lap he pitted to get tired. No, he's
Nope.
like, we got 6 laps left. Let's just
We'll
finish
finish
this
it
out. I'm like,
Might
he
lose a
lost
spot or
one
two,
spot.
but we'll be fine.
One, maybe 2, but
Yeah,
4
that was
seconds.
crazy.
I think they said on the broadcast was 4 seconds he lost doing the maneuver, but he didn't. He tagged the wall, but didn't wreck it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
there's
he still was able to continue, and I mean, he didn't have an amazing finish, but I think he was in the top 20. So I mean, like, you could have wrecked it.
I don't know that many other drivers that would be able to do that.
I would say someone like Bell, Larson.
I've seen Larson do that same
Maybe.
exact move and destroy the
Yes.
car.
But yeah, that's. I think Bell was one I remember
Probably a
always
1 in
being
a
able to
million
save
shot.
cars.
I don't even know if he could do that again.
I don't know.
That was insane.
That was crazy.
Hocevar's great.
He's the best. He rode the Dente. He got the Dente.
Might buy a shirt next weekend.
I'm not gonna, I've thought about it.
I am looking for one specific one. So
I,
To ride the Dente, I feel like would be a cool one to have to
Ride the
capture the
Dente.
moment in history.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
it's cool. It's cool.
The no, I thought it was hilarious that throughout the race today. I don't know how it happened, but Hocevar and Stenhouse kept ending up next to each other through the whole race.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
That
you
was-
could definitely tell he was a little afraid to pass him.
You could feel the tension.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
You could feel like sitting at home watching the race. You could feel the tension between Stenhouse and Hocevar. It was insane. Like it got to the point where we're like, he's clearly faster than him, and he can pass him.
Yep.
But he's not
Not
going
choosing
to.
to.
yeah. It was funny.
weenie.
They were like
Yeah,
on
basically.
they were on a very similar strategy.
Yes.
But I thought it was hilarious that like with some of the cautions or whatever, you could like Hocevar's like, I'm done. We're gonna go to this alternate strategy and we're pitting because I do not want to be here anymore. It was like at one restart they started 1-2. I was like, oh, here we go.
Dude, that was
This
so
is gonna be it.
they went the whole time like trying not to pass each other or be close to each other at all, right? While they're getting ran over by everyone else. And then somehow they cycle to the front on a restart, inside, outside. I'm like, I don't even know how this is gonna go. But for some reason, the inside lane, I mean, it took off on a few of those restarts there.
Yeah.
You know?
It was all about which lane lined up.
Really,
Who
yeah.
got the pushes.
I thought it was pretty fair between inside and
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, there wasn't one that was clear, distinct advantage.
I would probably argue the outside probably had more runs, more positive runs, just because the bottom lane wanted to Chastain the whole time.
Yeah,
I'll take a third lane.
make it 3 or 4 wide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get every spot he could. So
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, that's fine.
Anything? Okay, so wrapping up stage 1, Hamlin stays out, gets a stage win.
boo.
Okay,
The 1E1 driver.
I had him in the.
I mean, I did too.
I had him in the league.
How do you win here 7 times and not pick
How
him?
does? I'm pretty sure. Does anyone in our fantasy league not pick Hamlin? If you do, we need to talk to you. You're not right. Get some help. Anyway.
Get some help. Michael
is
Jordan
pretty
would say.
all right, so we're moving on into stage 2. So Riley Hurst blows a tire. That is the start of 2311's issues. It was. I don't think it was just the tire. I think it was the rotor, and that destroyed
So
the tire.
there wasn't a great angle of it because he was probably running in last, honestly, close to it.
Or-
He's
yeah.
terrible today, not good at all. So, but it looked like he could have blown a rotor, but he also could have blown a tire. Hits up in the fence. Like I said, we couldn't really see it.
Yeah.
But then when Bubba had his issue coming up later in a little bit, that's when we're like, oh, okay. So they probably both blew rotors. And then obviously Reddick had his issue.
Yeah,
But-
so Bubba blows the tire, and then Reddick basically they're telling him you're going to need to work on changing your brake bias and stuff like that. So that way we can kind of hopefully mitigate this issue, because clearly it seems that we're overheating these front.
Yeah, it was interesting because
rotors.
they came out and they're like, oh, you're going to have to add more brake into the rear. And he's like, I will be honest, I don't think that's going to fix anything. Like, the damage is done. These are bad rotors. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he was probably a top 10 car. He was running.
Reddick?
Oh, yeah.
Reddick. And
Oh,
all
top
the way
10 for
to the
sure.
back.
Could have been top 5 probably. He's one of the best average finishers here too.
Yeah, he went
He's
all the
really
way to the
good.
back, like 32nd, and ran a majority of that stage until they finally came into pit. It's switch out. I don't know if it's the pads or the pads and the rotors. I don't know exactly what they changed.
I
but
don't know.
Yeah.
But the wild part to me, and I don't know if this is, I haven't looked to see if this is in the note, but the
how
fact
he
that
only went 2 laps down.
2 laps down during a caution
In
and
the
they
garage.
changed, he went all the way to the garage. They changed rotors or pads and whatever they changed. Mechanical swap out basically
Insane.
only went down 2 laps.
Insane. I could have swore I was like, I
Pocono's
misheard
big.
that. It was probably 22 laps. He's probably 22 laps.
I was
No.
thinking at least 10.
Yeah, but I thought I
Like-
misheard it. Like 2 laps down, I was like, oh, 22 laps down. All right, whatever. No, it was legit 2 laps. I was like, well, that's not fair. Like, how do you just park, go into the garage, probably get a drink, do your thing. Half of the 2311 or the 23 team comes over, helps out, and he's only 2 laps down. I was like, this ain't fair.
To be fair, the 23 team had nothing else to do at that point.
Yeah, they were done.
I mean,
Yeah, they were
Bubba
done.
was already wrecked.
I want to jump into the McDowell one because that was interesting. He blew the rotor as well,
this was
right?
so
Yes.
ridiculous, dude.
And there was no caution for what? How much?
4
laps.
laps.
Five.
Five?
5 laps.
5 laps.
Made him come all the way around, do the whole loop around. Finally, once he was pitted,
Literally on that replay, you see brake rotor going
Everywhere.
everywhere.
insane.
Brake rotor, tire.
Everything. No, I mean,
Saddle
but tire is one thing, but it's brake rotor.
Yeah, that's
Like and like, oh yeah, eventually they call the caution for debris in turn 1. It's like, bro, like you can't have people blowing tires going into turn 1. It's like
the most
one
dangerous
of
spot.
that is one of the worst places for an accident in the NASCAR schedule.
I would
Yeah.
argue, like the camera views. Maybe it's just because Prime has really good cameras. That was like one of the dirtiest tracks I've seen NASCAR run on. They did not clean it whatsoever.
No.
There was
That was
no
weird.
trash, but man, you want to talk about the rubber
Chunks of
buildup.
rubber, all kinds of stuff.
Who knows what was around there, man?
If it was-
insane.
If the racing groove was clean and everything else was just full of stuff.
Crazy. I just can't believe they let him go all the way around without without a caution. Like, you want tell me you're not important.
I don't know. To me, like there would be some benefit of the doubt, like we didn't know with Ty Gibbs if it was a rotor or not. But like, okay, by that point, we're talking we're on the third rotor for sure.
Yeah.
That we're having an issue. Or we've had 2 rotor issues for sure, and now we just had another tire blow coming out of turn 3 and didn't hit the wall. He's in the straightaway, so that's almost certainly a rotor. You know what I mean? Because of the heat and everything. So I mean, to me, like, how do you just not throw it? Like, a tire doesn't just blow like that on the straightaway.
It's
They
weird.
just don't. They go down slow. They don't blow like that. So I mean, they should have known.
Yeah.
This goes back to I think the multiple race directors is a really big mistake.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You
You
just
have
don't have that
inconsistency.
consistency. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
You don't have that in between. So kind of wrapping up what stage 2, Briscoe wins it,
Yeah.
right? There was a big wreck. I mean, I guess a big wreck for
Blaney
Pocono, but
speeds on pit road. That was something that did happen in
that
stage 2.
sucked. Yeah. I mean, but still a 3rd place finish isn't that bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But there was a big wreck in the backpack. The 8, the 10, the 20, and the 88. They all kind of just spun around. There's no
Was
real
that
big
was Kyle
damage.
Busch, right?
Yeah.
Kyle Busch got loose or washed up, collected a couple.
Yeah.
So Brad, that was where Brad had his pit incident, where he wanted to,
Again, yeah.
where he basically this team tells him to come in, and I guess there was miscommunication. The team didn't understand. So long story short, team says pit this time. Brad comes in, and he's the only one to come in, and
No red
pit road-
flags.
pit
It's
road-
fine.
yeah,
No red flags. No red flashing light before you cross it. Like
it was on.
It wasn't even close.
It was on.
I know it was on,
Yeah, I know.
but like, how do you not see that?
like,
Come on, man. Be better. Where's TJ? What's he doing? Figure it out, man. Come on.
probably had to change his cool suit.
Annoying.
How do you not see the pit road entry sign? I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of the point of it. If you don't see it,
What's
then why do we
crazy
even
is,
have
what's
it?
crazy is they didn't even know they had a penalty or that they totally screwed this up until the next lap when
Insane.
everybody else came down and they're like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. That's not right.
That ain't good.
Gotta put more gas in it.
So later in that stage is where we have the big wreck with the 8, the 10, 20, and the 88.
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
Oh, did you guys go over that?
Yeah, we just hit it real quick.
Sorry.
Wasn't
Okay.
anything crazy. I think we're on stage 3 now.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry. I was doing the poll thing. So, all right. So stage 3, tons of different strategies at this point.
Yeah. So starting stage 3, you had, 3 major strategies,
Mhm.
different strategies across, and probably some other people that are just like in whatever situation they found themselves in based off of the cautions and everything. But there was like 3 different. You had the the Toyota guys that pitted like with just enough fuel. Like sorry, that's later. But yeah. Anyways.
Overall, stage 3 really ran fairly clean. There wasn't a lot
Yeah.
going
No,
on
not
besides
really.
just strategies. When are you going to pit?
Yeah.
There was a few.
Was there no
hiccups around
caution?
there. I don't remember.
No, there was
there was.
SVG.
There was one.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
SVG.
yeah. It was like 20 to go.
Guy wins
Yeah,
the
yeah,
race.
yeah, yeah.
Guy
That was
wins
the
the race
start of-
last week and then literally decides to just like run out of talent.
He
and
was
spin
running
by
pretty
himself.
good for this race. He was like 15th.
Yeah, he was in the top
He
15 a
was
little bit. I don't know
alright.
if he was like all day, but definitely some. Legitimately. That was cool. But yeah, so y'all really like my hashtags. That's funny. So we started with a lot of strategy. I lost my train of thought before it. I got to know.
All right.
We started
Welcome
with a
back,
lot of
Jake.
different strategies.
Yep.
And then it evolved from like 3 different strategies down to kind of like 2 different strategies. Do you pit very early and try to take your fuel
Mhm.
exactly what you need? Do you pit a little bit later, maybe take a little less fuel, but you can also put some in for safety net, So it's
Plus-
just interesting.
Plus the fresher tires.
Yeah, and I feel like SVG's spin really didn't change that much.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Didn't change a lot. I
No.
mean, some people definitely got screwed on that. On that
I think
whole
Brad
deal.
was
Brad.
one.
Brad was one. Brad. This is where Brad got well.
Number
yeah,
2
Brad.
issue.
Brad screwed himself the first time in stage 2, and then stage 3, Brad actually screws himself again because the team calls him to pit road.
He says, "Give me one more lap."
He petitions for one more lap, gets it. Caution comes out while he's on the track.
Yep.
Had he got it or been to pit road, he probably would come out the favorite to win. You know what I mean? Because like at that
Probably.
point, if you went like 6-7 laps, and like before that caution, if you put it 6-7 laps before the caution, you're probably not pitting again. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So like that, Brad would have nailed
set.
the timing of that and come up with freshest tires.
That's
Fresh,
life.
freshest tires.
Yeah, there you go.
Freshies.
Freshy.
There you go. So yeah.
So-
So
Yeah, it just kind of comes down to JGR versus
JGR.
Yeah, JGR versus Blaney. But gas mileage prevails.
Do you guys, let me ask you guys this: do you guys? So again, we're coming down to another fuel mileage race. Was that something we should be worried about with the MPG? This is racing. Do we need to worry about MPG? Yes or no?
Miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
What
else?
do
would it
you
be?
mean? I'm trying to understand.
Like
what you're
because they
asking.
made that such a big deal about the end of the broadcast. Like that was all they talked about for the last 25 laps.
I feel like it would mean more, but people aren't running out of fuel.
They're
No
lying.
I feel like
no
I feel like
consequence.
well, I mean, I feel like this is like the 3rd time we've talked about like fuel. Like, are they going to make it? Are they going to do it? And they make it, and then they run the cooldown lap, and then they burn it down until the car overheats.
So it hasn't
was,
happened.
Was
we
it
need someone
was it
to
that
not
close?
make it at some point.
That right,
Yeah.
right.
Conveniently close, but not really that
Well,
close.
I mean, technically, what was it? Michigan. We did have people not make it. They just made it back to. They made it back to pit road.
it was, but realistically, it was just Hocevar. He was in the lead.
No, it was Byron.
Oh, Byron missed out.
Byron also went down on that race too.
Too? Yeah.
It was at least the 2 of them, and I think the 54 was close.
Mm.
I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly, but so there was at least the possibility of 3 in the top.
Oh,
5.
that was the one where the 54 was like, I could have won this race, but they told him to hold back.
Yeah.
hold
Yeah.
back. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
mad about that. No, personally, I'm not too concerned about the fuel mileage. I just think it's certain tracks have it, and
Pocono's
certain tracks
one.
don't. That's just Pocono's gonna be in that category.
No, yeah. Pocono
Um,
often goes to a fuel mileage race, just like Michigan. Very
Yeah.
likely. The stage lengths, everything, just the way it all shakes out, which I'm fine with. I'm good with it.
Yeah, it's not. It's like in 3 weeks we're gonna totally forget about it. So
My problem. my
like-
problem is like I'm cool with it, or my issue is like I'm cool with it. I don't like it when it's at super speedways.
Yeah,
I mean,
think that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah. I don't
like
I
as
don't
long
get-
as it stays at like these couple of tracks, cool. But like, don't bring this to Atlanta. Don't bring this to Daytona,
yeah, right.
Talladega.
Atlanta's the oddball. I don't think we'll hear a lot about it
No,
because
not
they
in
can
Atlanta.
run for so long there.
Yeah.
it's the perfect blend where you have enough handling. You can also pass. You can do everything there.
Yeah.
It's because it's the best super speedway we have now.
It's the best racetrack we have probably.
Mm.
Charlotte right there too. There's no fuel saving. It's all out the whole time.
Kansas
it's also
or
about
Michigan's
handling.
It is a great track.
You
It's
can still
definitely top three.
pass.
Definitely
You have
top
super
three.
speedway
I mean,
heavily
I'd
influenced.
take Charlotte over Atlanta, but I love Atlanta too.
Yeah.
I think
I think
Yeah.
you could make a case for like that one in Atlanta, Atlanta, Charlotte, and then like either like a Kansas or like a Michigan. I think all of those are like right there that you could order those around.
Man,
Kansas is pretty good.
I don't know, man. Homestead's put on some good races.
Homestead's another one that's good. There
You
is
know what I
several
mean?
good
Like-
ones.
I think we just like the mile and a halves.
Shocker.
It's a big surprise. This car's good at the mile and a half, so let's pick
I mean,
the mile
we're
and a half.
literally just naming tracks where you can pass that. The tracks that are not a part of this list are the ones that everybody makes.
Notice
are
one.
the ones that make people hate the Gen
I
7
think we
car.
can all agree the last place on this would be New Hampshire,
I don't.
Why?
unless it's raining. If it's
I
raining, New
literally-
Hampshire gets bumped
I
up.
literally hate that race.
I mean, Gen 6, yeah, I'm with you. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Gen 7 is all right.
As long as
It's
as
short.
long as it rains. If
It's
it
short
rains,
race.
it's good.
I'm
We
okay
got-
with the short race, man. It don't
Yeah,
need
I
to be.
like it.
It is too short.
300 miles.
No, it's not 300 miles. It's 300 laps.
For the lobster.
Oh.
Is it 1 mile?
You gotta
Yeah,
keep that
oh,
lobster
yeah,
alive.
It is 1 mile.
It's 1
It is
mile
1
track.
mile.
Yeah, it's fast.
It's very fast.
It's-
It's very fast.
It's
Yeah,
2 hour
it's-
race.
The branding for the race is always like whatever the sponsor is, and then 301. It's
301.
301 miles. I'm like,
so
that's so dumb. bro.
Yenny in the chat says Michigan, Charlotte, Atlanta in that order.
Michigan.
I could honestly go
do
with that
appreciate
order.
Michigan.
I could be.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah,
I can't.
I could work with that.
We-
Honorable
we go-
mentions
we go
with
to
the
Atlanta.
Brickyard. Honorable mention with the Brickyard and Kansas. Brickyard, interesting. Kansas, I agree with. Brickyard,
I don't know. I was
pretty
not.
good.
I was not impressed with Kansas this year.
So far.
Yeah. So far.
I don't know. I could go either way on
You
that
don't
one.
like it so far. We'll see. I agree with you. It didn't deliver, but
All right. Well,
Anyways.
we can make this part. All right, let's move on into talk about trucks. We can be done with this in
Trucks
about
is pretty simple.
3 minutes.
It raced extremely
it
similar.
sucks.
whoa.
Wow. Hey, easy. Calm down.
Was it- I'm sorry.
That was
We're
your
talking
opinion?
about triangles over here, man.
I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
I'll stop.
I thought it was all right. It was just pretty mid.
It was pretty mid.
It wasn't.
I
The
thought
truck
it was
races
boring.
put on better races this year, but it wasn't bad.
There was a clear 1, 2, 3 in the truck race, and 1 and 2 had issues. So the third place car won.
Yeah.
Sorry. Nothing against Lane Riggs, but he was the third place car.
Yeah.
And Corey Heim and Hocevar, they decided to have issues, and Lane Riggs wins.
Yeah. No, that was.
It was the perfect thing for Riggs because he was not going to get that win. It just
no,
wasn't going to
I
happen.
completely agree. That was kind of like the whole Martin Truex dominating the race kind of thing, where you're just like, okay, here we go. It's clearly the one car that's the best.
Didn't Heim
And then he
have
didn't
engine
win.
issues?
He blew up.
Yeah, he blew the engine.
Another-
Again, Toyota.
Toyota.
Again, close to playoffs.
But
I have a theory on that, actually.
but I'm pretty sure they're running the Ilmore engine. Why
always
are they
Toyotas, though.
having issues?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just specifically Heim. Heim has so many issues with the engine
No clue.
and the
Over revs it. I don't know.
what's the system that runs the engine?
I couldn't
my
tell you,
gosh.
man. I don't know all
It
that.
Little red box on the dash.
Anyway.
Totally slipped my mind. Anyways,
Jarvis.
Help us.
Come on, man.
Chat. Let us know what it's called.
no, but
You are running at 400%.
yeah. So like, I mean,
How about that?
ECU, engine control unit. Got it. So I don't know. Maybe their ECUs and how aggressive they're being with like a tune maybe is part of it. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he blew the engine, and Hocevar, I think he got black flagged for jumping the restart.
Yenny just brought it up. So restart should have been waived off and not penalized Hocevar. Even Riggs said it wasn't told and didn't know that he was the control car. So basically,
There you go.
Heim had an issue, falls back. So the whole line shifts.
Yes.
So I guess Hocevar thought he was the control car, and it was really Riggs that was supposed to be the control car. The booth was like, it's clear as day. They had what's his name in the booth, and he's like, I can't remember his name. Dang it. He's like, yeah, it's 100% this car. Like it was supposed to be Riggs and stuff like that, but both Riggs and Hocevar thought it was Hocevar.
Wasn't Ross in the booth this week?
Yeah.
think it
No,
was
no,
Ross.
Ross was in Mexico City. It was Blaney, I think, this week.
Oh, yeah, it was Blaney.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to, for some reason, I want to say Letarte, but I don't think it was Letarte that said that. But maybe it was. I could be wrong.
I mean,
But-
the thing is,
yeah.
like, I mean, it's I don't know. How
It's
do these
unfortunate.
guys
It's-
not know? If you pull out of that line, the car behind you takes a spot, and you are now effectively anything
control.
that car, you were that car.
I don't blame the driver. I blame the crew chiefs. Like a crew chief, that is your
No,
job
I mean,
to know that
I
stuff.
mean, how do the drivers?
Drivers
not
should know
that?
it too, though.
Drivers should, but like I blame the crew
You're
chief.
the
I'd
one
at
that's
least
in
ask
the
the
car.
question.
If the guy in front of you that is a control car pulls off and you take his spot, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I could see how it would get mixed up, but so what you're saying is like if
I
the car in front of you is the control car and they shuffle to the next line, you take
if they
this-
blow up,
that
they have a
spot
problem.
is-
If they leave, if the car in front of you has
Whoever's
to
in
pull
that
out of
spot.
the pack, you pull into that spot and you take over as them.
okay.
If
All right.
say let's say you're inside first place, if you're third place inside, then yeah, if that guy has to go pit because he's out of fuel or engine troubles, whatever. The third place guy in the entire inside line moves up, and you're now the control car.
yeah,
But
I
if
think-
you-
Yanni said
mo-
something perfect.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, he was about 30 miles per hour slower. Like, what's Hocevar going to do? Either you slow down and stop and wreck the whole field, or you just go.
Okay, again, I agree with what he said before. They should just wave it off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for that, Riggs gets this win.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway,
anywho,
that's cool. That's
Xfinity.
about it for trucks.
yeah, that was really about it. There wasn't, I mean, a little bit
the
here and
race
there,
was
but
boring. I
yeah.
thought.
The only comment I really have about the first 2/3 of this Xfinity race is Daniel Dye just wrecked like a bunch.
slaying it.
Bruh,
Wrecked right up front.
he spent more
Lap
time
3.
sideways than he did going straight.
He does not like triangles.
Bro.
Confirmed.
Then he ran over Austin Hill like, oh my God, bro.
It was a rough one.
It
man.
was a mess.
It's a rough
Day.
one.
But
It happens,
the best part of the Xfinity series was Dale Jr. being a crew chief of the 88 car,
dude. That
who also won the
cheated.
race.
I'm pretty convinced he wasn't doing a whole lot.
well, I mean,
I don't know, bro.
did y'all
He-
see
he-
what Kyle Busch was saying?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Kyle Busch on Twitter was basically calling him out, and I mean, to be fair, he did clarify later.
What'd he say?
I don't have it pulled up, but basically it was like, it's all propaganda, or I don't think he said propaganda, but it's basically all publicity. That's what he
Yes,
said.
publicity.
Publicity, they don't really do anything nowadays with technology and stuff like that. So I think it's
He
just a
said-
big storyline.
He said
He
he's
said
just
something-
a warm body.
That-
Warm
that's
body.
what I'm looking for.
Warm body up
I'm
there.
like, golly.
Now,
That's rough.
To be fair to Kyle, he did clarify and say, "Look, I'm not saying this is a rule thing where the crew chief gets suspended for some stupid rule about like lug nuts,
Right.
And so he gets suspended, and now you have to come up with somebody when he's like,
Do you think this was?
you know that he's probably in the hauler or probably in the parking lot, still there.
Do you think this was Junior Motorsports' way of saying like this is a really dumb rule, and we're just gonna make Dale Jr. the crew chief
And then win
still
it?
win the race and
I
show you
mean-
how ineffective you suspending the crew chief is?
I mean, maybe,
Yeah.
but
I think. I mean,
I mean, even if Kyle Busch was right, even if what he was saying was true,
no, it is true.
I mean, if
At
there,
that point,
if there is someone, if you're Junior Motorsports, if there's someone that you could bring in, I would feel pretty good about Dale Jr. being my crew chief.
especially because he
You know,
has
at
Steve
least-
Letarte on speed
No,
now.
he's never
I
done
don't
it before.
know.
I'd be
He's-
worried.
I don't know. He's Dale Jr.
I
There's
mean, I
an
get
aura
it, but
to
I'd
him.
I'd still be worried.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think.
I think I'd ask for
It's an
one guy
aura
who's
to
got
him.
maybe like one crew chief.
You know what I would do?
experience.
This is what I would do. If I was them, I'd be like, hey, Dale, hey, we need a crew chief. Yeah? Oh, you want me to stop? No, I want you to call Steve Letarte and bring him in.
Yeah, right? Like-
that makes more sense.
Do you think maybe it was like a joke? Like, hey, we're gonna put Junior down. And he's gonna have to be here.
He hit him with that George Lopez. I got this.
Maybe.
Love it.
Yeah.
But the funniest part to me about that whole scenario is if you remember a few weeks ago when he was talking to Justin Allgaier on his
It's
podcast.
the best.
And he's like, listen, if anytime you get out of the car and you get out of the roof flat or the roof hatch, I'm just going to assume you're cheating.
Well, he wasn't even talking to Allgaier. He was just saying.
He was
with
saying in
Allgaier.
general.
It was
And
after
then-
Allgaier's win.
And then Allgaier won that week.
I think that he had him on the show because he won that week and he was talking to him about it or something.
No, that's when they came back to it the second
Oh,
time.
okay.
So the week prior, he was talking about. He's like, "Listen, man, I just think anyone who goes through the roof, I'm just gonna instantly assume it's cheating. You're cheating. It's just
There's
how it
no
is.
reason to go through the roof hatch. If you go through the roof hatch, I'm just going to
something's
assume
manipulated, right? So the next week, Allgaier wins, comes through the roof hatch. All right. So now this week, he's crew
The
chief.
crew chief. For
And Connor Zillage goes through the roof hatch. I'm like, man, it is a running joke. Maybe all junior motorsports, like
This
all the
is
drivers
all
are like,
messing with
the
them.
MO is go through the roof.
So Allgaier's excuse was they weren't at a real fast track.
Oh yeah, okay.
They weren't like I think it was a short track, man. I don't know. They weren't at like a big.
Wasn't it
speedway.
Nashville?
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Nashville Super Speedway.
I mean, but it's not. I mean, coming through the hood there, the roof, you're not really gaining much advantage. And then this week, Pocono, oh yeah, bro, you can
Oh, yeah.
absolutely get an advantage by playing with the roof. Maybe
I think it's
allegedly.
hilarious,
So,
man.
anyways,
It is
but
a great running joke in the community.
Right.
I
And I
think
will
it's
just let her roll.
I think it's amazing because Dale Jr. is probably going to retire as the only crew chief with a
100%.
perfect win record.
Winner, winner.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chicken dinner.
that's so
I saw a
funny.
stat. I believe it was on the post race show today. There was like Dale Jr. or like crew chief stats is like Dale Jr. win percentage 1.0, and then it had like I don't know, it's like most Hall of Fame crew chiefs. It was like for best of the best 0.25. I was like,
Dang.
oh man, it's funny.
That's funny, bro.
Let's see. He won it. This is Allgaier won at Vegas, won at Homestead. I'm just trying to go through.
It was
to
his
see.
most recent win.
Yeah. Let's see. Scroll down.
Yeah.
Is that
Uh,
Nashville?
Up,
Go
up,
up.
Nashville?
That was the one.
It was Nashville.
Nashville
Yeah.
Super Speedway.
Not a real fast track.
Nah, not really.
I mean,
They should not even call it super speedway.
I'm
Don't-
gonna
we're not-
go off of Super
We're not
Speedway.
talking about this right now.
Fine, whatever. We'll save it till next year.
Like they are they have an identity crisis. They need to change their name.
They identify as a super speedway. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, bro, it's just weird.
We want to be a Super Speedway.
Everybody,
Pronoun Speedway.
Stop. All right. Do we have anything else we want to bring up about Xfinity?
No, that's it. Congrats for Connor Zillage. It was almost a fairy tale. It should have actually. It was a fairy tale win for Dale. So amazing.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
fun.
something I did want to bring up, and I don't. Well, is it in? Did we move it? Because I brought up something about Chase Elliott getting extra set of tires at his.
No, actually, we talked about putting it in, got distracted, didn't make it in there. So
Oh, okay.
we can drop it before we move to NASCAR.
yeah, let's do that real quick.
I don't
so,
know what you're talking about.
So at qualifying, so Byron is out. So there's literally three.
Byron spun out in qualifying.
Yeah.
Right. So there's three guys left. You have Byron's out there. Chase is out there at the same time Byron is. Byron's
so does
basically
Rod.
going through turn 2 right at the line, spins out. Chase is going through turn 1, basically all but finished his qualifying lap.
No, coming to he was on the warm up lap, coming to the qualifying.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, was it Bell?
Bell was still on pit
Bell
road.
was on the one on pit road. So basically they, caution,
Yeah,
throw
you
the
got to.
caution.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to, whatever.
Yeah, he finished it like
Yeah. So I mean, Chase comes back around. His team petitions them and petitions NASCAR and is like, "Hey, since we basically ran our lap, like our whole thing, like we should get a fresh set of tires
Right.
because it's not gonna be fair because everyone else already had. They're going out with freshies. NASCAR gives it to them. Do you think that's fair, or do you think that's because it was Chase Elliott?
No, I think it's fair.
I think it's fair.
I think it's fair. Personally, if you got your runs scrubbed like that, I think you should have every advantage or opportunity to run the same as everyone else.
Yeah,
I don't think you should be penalized just because that's where you have to go.
I
It's
think
not like
you're
you chose to
already
go.
at a disadvantage because everything's hot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Engines
was-
now hot.
you're not going to cool it back
Hubs
off.
are all hot. There's only one other guy. A lot of times, like this happens, and there'll be 20 other guys behind them, and they get to go to the back of the line, or maybe 10 back.
NASCAR has the opportunity too to let everyone do their one run without putting another car on track, but they make another car do their warm-up run to keep it running faster.
Yeah.
So they brought that up on the broadcast,
Yeah.
how they were like,
It's
they
a
used to
NASCAR
do it
thing.
one at a time, and then the problem is Pocono
took
specifically
3 hours.
took forever to do qualifying.
Yep.
So they
Yeah.
kind of space them out because it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jake pretty much took the words of what I was gonna say out. Like, I think the offset of like, I think they should have given it to him just because of the offset of like you said, like everything's already running hot and like all of this stuff. Like, it's kind of like,
I mean, I
Let-
think they should just quit being sissies and Byron sits in his car while Elliott finishes his lap.
Now, if they take those tires, throw them in the
Not
corner,
really.
don't use them, and make them run the scuffs again, and now they just got an extra set for the next day. See, that's not fair. they should
yeah,
not be
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah,
They should
no.
make sure those tires get changed.
yeah.
So here's a question. So if they bring a set of tires like that, right? maybe is it 2 sets of tires extra in case somebody spins and somebody needs like a fresh set? Like,
I guess.
where does this allotment of where do these 4 tires come from?
I don't know.
Does Goodyear bring extras?
Bristol, 2024.
If only. No, you know what was
You
funny?
know, you know what I mean? Though? Like,
I don't know, yeah.
Does Goodyear like how many do they bring extra?
What was funny was I think it was Steve Letarte was on the broadcast at the time, and he's like, if it was me and I was that crew chief, I'd be making some pressure adjustments right now because you'd be asking Elliot like, hey, was it loose? Was it free?
How'd it
like,
feel?
How
What
did
do
it
you
feel?
want?
Want to
Yeah.
make
Oh,
a
yeah,
slight
100%.
adjustment or whatever on it? And I'm like, okay, now that could be a problem because this car's very
Yeah.
sensitive.
But
to
then
that.
But you're
But then-
already
but then he did
taking the
what?
hit for being a hot car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He qualified
it-
like 18th.
yeah, so
Because
everyone-
Steve Letarte was like, well, I guess what I said doesn't really make a difference or whatever. He's like, this doesn't mean that much.
But it was kind of, I was just like, oh, because as I was watching, I'm like, oh, this could be a major problem. If he comes out and sets a heater of like first place and everyone, it's going to be like, oh no.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to lose their mind.
That's
But
a long shot, though.
yeah, so I just thought that was an interesting thing to bring up.
I mean, we've already been talking about how this whole at least this whole weekend, at least Jake and I, where it's like Chase Elliott kind of just sucks in this car. He kind of just does. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
He can't even win in the Xfinity car. I think he's just all used up.
Yenny,
Whoa.
I just noticed in the chat that Yenny has officially named the escape hatch the cheater hatch.
The
Nice.
cheater hatch. Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. All right, so let's move on to our NAS news section. This is where we go over some different news that's popped up over the week. There's been a lot. So Carson Hocevar is fined by Spire. Let's clarify, it's from Spire, not from NASCAR. For comments made on live stream about Mexico City race, it's $50,000, and it's made and is set to make sensitivity training. Money will be donated to Mexico nonprofits. I don't know.
That's so funny considering
ones?
he's sponsored by a Tex-Mex restaurant.
Hilarious.
Riding the Dente.
Yeah.
The Dante.
I think so. I thought it was interesting with the news that Spire took the initiative and said, "Hey,
Beforehand.
this is what we're gonna do. We know what happened. We're gonna settle this." And they went to NASCAR and got it approved. And they said, "Yep, that is a fair
I
and just punishment."
do you think that was to avoid them going and doing a points penalty?
Ooh, I don't think you can do.
I
a
don't think you
points
can get
penalty
points for that.
comments.
I mean, NASCAR got rid of Kyle Larson because he said a word.
He also
would
got a
argue
promotion.
it's a.
I agree.
I would argue it's a little different.
I mean,
situation.
considering what Larson said, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
But I mean, I thought it was fair.
I mean,
Okay, Noah Gregson lost his ride because he liked a photo.
it was pretty bad.
I get it.
And arguably, where's he racing now?
a better team.
I mean,
I mean, the
A team
Stewart
that's there.
he's running terrible this year, but you would think it would be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Speaking of the 4,
There's a weird history with this in NASCAR, man.
Weird thing.
I
man.
mean, look, the way I see it is like
this is
I've liked memes too. You know,
all
like
I'm
pretty-
saying is, you know what this means? He's going to the 48 and he's getting an upgrade.
yeah, you know,
If he goes to the 48, like,
I'm done. I'm
I'm
done.
like, bro,
Yo, that would
you,
be.
you can like Hendrick, man. Enjoy.
you can have
Well,
it.
yeah, let me stay with
No,
those
he's
RFK
already
people.
priming that thing up. I like memes too.
You know what? If,
I
you
think it's just
if you
fun.
think about it, me and Hostfar were kind of alike.
Oh God! Don't hit me with that Jake stuff, bro.
Do you go to sensitivity training?
No,
Yes.
obviously, did you not hear the beginning? He was talking about unicorns on Daniel's car.
Bro, I'm not the one that said that in the first place. I said the original version.
Anyway,
Not the same-
Okay.
which was worse.
Anywho, DJ, I think you do bring up a great point that maybe they rushed it out and said NASCAR has this like to
try
avoid
to
a
avoid
point
points penalty.
or a weekend suspension, something like
Maybe
that.
a suspension would be the bigger problem. Maybe not a
Maybe.
points position.
You know, I mean,
I think NASCAR would sit him down for a race.
maybe
They
cool
could.
them off.
I think because I thought the whole thing was ridiculous, and then I watched somebody's video and they talked about they're like NASCAR has gone here, spent all this money trying to do this, and you literally just said, hey, this market that you guys care about and these fans you want to like bring into the sport, you basically not just said that it's like not worth our time, but you degraded the entire thing, and
Right
the entire
after.
effort during the
Well,
weekend.
that's true. It was during. Sorry.
So it's like, man, you know what? That's a really good point. Like, you can't, like, now you're not gonna put egg on NASCAR's face.
No,
Nah,
no one will.
nah.
we can
No.
see how
That-
well.
People
that
have
is-
tried.
I think that would.
Denny
I
is
think
trying.
we
I was gonna say
almost-
Denny's working on it.
I think we almost got an actions detrimental to stock car racing style penalty.
Yeah,
could have been, I think you're going to take a little time off.
Yep.
You don't
So-
like
Until
you
you
don't like
apologize.
racing in Mexico? That's fine. You don't need to race next week or whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I could see it. So I think Spire was smart and on top of it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
Probably.
I agree.
I wouldn't be surprised. So
is that the standard going forward with teams?
Maybe they got away with one. Maybe NASCAR would be like, all right.
So let's
Maybe.
talk about the second part of that, which is, I'm sorry, it's not part of the notes here. Tab Boyd is fired from Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
that was
Yeah.
wild.
From not from Ricky, but from Hayek Motorsports. He was spotting for Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Mm-hmm.
That
For his
Was a little
comments
surprising.
about Mexico.
Yep.
Very
And his were, I think, were much worse than
host of ours.
Hocevar's. Yeah.
But I also feel like he had a pretty rough experience.
He did.
And spoke openly about it.
Yep.
From what I've seen, what I hear, like it was legit. Like he had a bad time, you know. But yeah, it sucks.
It's one of those. Honestly, I don't know why we're surprised. If you're open and honest about things, NASCAR will punish you. We've
Yeah.
seen it before
But this
with
isn't
all the
even
drivers.
NASCAR. This is the team, and I think it all comes down to there's corporations on that car that
Oh,
care
yeah.
about that audience in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
or even you know, people, Hispanics and Mexicans up here in the States that go to races. You know what I mean? That
Oh, yeah.
NASCAR's back there in their home country. Like, yeah, like that. I mean, I get it from like. We're sponsored by nobody. We could truly say whatever we wanted, right? With probably not much repercussion,
Right.
right?
We try to
But
be
we're
nice
but
and
we're not
peaceful.
but we're not you know, sponsored by a corporation. You know what I mean? But we carry ourselves in a way that we want to be one day, hopefully.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? If it makes sense. But so like these guys got to know, like it's like, bro, like you.
You set an image. You know?
Yeah, I can't go to my job and say and do whatever I want.
No.
You
Nope.
can't.
No, I definitely can't.
You probably could.
I probably could, but I probably shouldn't because if I did, I wouldn't have anyone to work for.
That's true.
So,
But yeah, so I don't know. It's unfortunate, but anyway,
all right. So
Tab Boy didn't get fired from everywhere.
there is one place
Rumor
he's still
has it
working.
he's still on a radio.
He is still on radio somewhere.
Keep your ears
He
peeled.
he was on he was at Pocono.
Let's leave it there.
So
All right. Next news: IndyCar announces that they're going to have a new chassis for 2028. They're going to have basically a little bit bigger motor, and it's going to be somewhere between 80 to 100 pounds lighter.
yep,
Just-
I think they're going from a 3.2 turbo twin turbo to a 3.4.
It's 0.2 to 0.4. I don't remember.
I think it's 3.2 to 3.4.
I thought it was 2.2 to 2.4, but it's a point.
Nah, I think it's more than that.
You
I
might
could
be
be,
right.
I could be wrong.
You
I don't
could.
know.
I know it's 0.2 to 0.4.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Slightly bigger, slightly lighter.
Yep.
Still gonna have the hybrid.
Yep.
faster at Indy.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Faster for the 500.
250.
No,
He's flying.
we're gonna go faster.
I'm hoping. I don't know. I was literally thinking today. Like, I like the IndyCar. I think a lot of it looks good. Hate the spoiler. Hate the spoiler during the road course.
Yenny, let me know about the shirt. I made it myself.
Yeah.
I can hook you up.
Crazy.
It
no,
was
that's true,
inspired by somebody, but it,
was
could be
100% for the 22.
It was.
Don't let him lie to you.
It was. I actually.
Benzoil will not sponsor us. It's
I
fine.
almost made it in yellow, but yes. Let me know.
I think the IndyCar, I think that's going to be cool. Have a new chassis, more horsepower, a little
Yeah.
bit
It
lighter.
couldn't hurt.
I'm
Yeah.
excited for
It
it.
could hurt someone. I mean, maybe not the sport, but we'll see.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean someone physically.
All right.
I wonder how different it'll look. I feel like it'd be. I don't know.
It's a cup car.
It looks like
Has fenders.
It's the car tomorrow.
it looks like Jackson Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just start running Gen 6.
There we go.
Everybody
Oh.
goes to IndyCar. Anyways.
Oh, that's funny.
New driver, Kyle Larson.
All right, so Dodge wants to come to Cup in 2028. Might be too early.
Yeah, so I did read a story. It takes 18 months to get a total like approval process.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, for body designs, templates, teams,
I imagine for Cup it's a little
paperwork,
harder.
probably.
I mean, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that includes charter stuff, but it might. But it's like an 18-month process.
I feel like charter stuff's pretty quick. Once
They-
you buy it, it's pretty much there. You go.
They have to fully develop an engine because there is no engine that they could just go get like an Elmore that's non
Right.
OEM
It's a spec
specific.
or something.
Yeah. So they have to build their own engine, and
they
it has
bring
to be tested and made to match the other teams, the other OEMs, They also have to make a body design, right? We know, like, a lot of it's going to be. I mean, actually, I think the bodies are pretty unique. Besides maybe the doors.
Well, because don't
feel
they,
like the doors are
doesn't
really
NASCAR
similar.
look at it? Like, I could be wrong, but isn't it something like they look at it and say, okay, the Fords may have a little bit more aerodynamics, but they have a little less motor, or there's a little bit of difference there.
No. So the motor and the aero is totally separate. There is a drag to downforce coefficient and a tolerance within both, and you can give a little downforce away to get rid of a little more drag, or you can get a little more downforce, but then NASCAR makes you take a little more drag. And there's different ways to do that, but that takes a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of testing.
And they want there's like I said, there's a way they average it out. Like, okay, yeah, sure, you may have less drag, but you're gonna have less downforce. So you may be faster on straightaways, slower in corners. But let's say like your Toyotas or your Fords, just for an example, I don't know, maybe they have a higher downforce and drag, so they'll be better in the corner, a little slower in the straightaway kind of deal. Like, but it's
gotcha.
not much. I mean, you're talking tenths of a percent, maybe different in the aero numbers.
And the thing is, they still have to make sure that everyone's competitive. So they want to try
That's
to
what I'm
like.
saying. So all those numbers in the wind tunnel all have to be within a very tight tolerance. There is some play, but it's tight.
Yeah.
This is like, remember we saw the Camaro when it first came out in Gen 6. Remember how
No. Gen 7.
remember how
Next gen.
deep the recesses were, like in the car?
It was the next gen car. First year. At
No.
Daytona.
Was it?
We saw it. I remembered specifically. It was very cut out. All the resets on the front. Yeah. No, it was the first race.
There was
for the
like
next gen.
there was like the second year.
It all got
sleek-
smoothed out.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So there are some things you can do. There are some.
Can
some
they bring
play.
back the super wing like the King?
About it.
I think they could. I think it'll pass. I don't think you can get into a hauler, but I think it'll pass.
if they don't,
How
have
much
it, it's a
drag do you
fail.
need to come with that? Like that, you get a lot of downforce with that.
I'm telling you.
Like when you
Same.
have to measure the border of your trailer just to get it to fit right in there. Just slide right in
You got
there.
slits on the top.
You
and
look
it
at
just
the
drives.
you look at the hauler in the back end of it, literally just like whoop. It's just like, they just have like a spot that's for the wing.
That's funny.
Oh, I love it.
That would be hilarious.
But
That would
so
be cool.
the reason why I said maybe a little bit too early, so that 18-month period, they have not started yet. So for them to make it for 2028, they
Oh, I
need
gotta
to
jump
start
on that.
Like
like
right now.
They need to have started probably.
Yeah.
And they could have maybe. I mean, obviously they're pretty hush hush on the whole truck thing until they
Is it the same process for
Turn it off.
Xfinity?
Leak the photos.
Is Xfinity takes similar?
not. There's a lot more.
I just
spec
wonder,
parts
are they
about
going to
that.
go like truck and then the next year Xfinity and then the next year?
I
Cup?
don't think I've heard
I don't
no
think they're going
plans
to
to go
Xfinity.
Xfinity.
So they may just do truck and
Yeah.
Mhm.
interesting.
Yep.
Hey, why
Which
not?
to me makes me like, okay, what truck and cup teams are somehow affiliated that would make you work them? Maybe a team that has a truck and a.
Front
Or-
row.
I was gonna say front row.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
Depends
maybe,
on how
maybe.
the charter goes.
Spire.
True.
Maybe.
Some
Anyway.
good cars.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Yeah. So anything else to add on that?
No.
I don't think there's really much else.
That's it.
Other
Too early
news,
to say.
this is our last prime race. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm sad.
Boo.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of the same broadcast team is coming for TNT.
I know, but I just like the freedom of the streaming.
the production team is very different.
It's yeah.
A lot of the people that are
I
running
hope-
the behind the scenes stuff, very different.
I hope it's very similar, but man, having it on Prime, just like the flexibility of, hey, we're going to do an hour post race. We're going to do today. They had 2.5 hours before the drivers were even in the car of pre-race. And I think
It was
Jake did
nice.
say they did show some of the Earnhardt documentary
I saw
during some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But-
saw it.
And here's
Still,
the other kicker is that they were like at the end of the race, yeah, we're gonna have an hour-long post race.
Yeah.
Where do
And
you
it's
see
been
that?
Good.
you're not
You
going to see
know.
that on TNT.
And so
I was listening to one of the podcasts this week. They said there's really no excuse. Every single broadcast partner has an app.
Yes.
There's no excuse for them not having a
Yeah.
post race.
yeah,
Besides money.
There's just no there's just no
As we
It's
had
just
said-
silly because you're already there. It's already set up.
Yeah.
It can't be that much more.
And
No.
like we've said many times, like if it was NASCAR, obviously we're not going to be able to do this now because we have 7 years of this. But like, if NASCAR was like, "Hey, you're going to need to spend $100 for the year or whatever," like an NFL Sunday ticket thing,
Yeah.
where it's like, "Hey, but you can have everything streaming. We're going to do our pre-race, our post-race." Like, I'm paying it, and I'm going to be happy about it if it's like Prime.
Why? You can just come and watch our post race coverage.
You got to.
Hey, sorry, a
is
little
true.
plug.
Well,
no,
that's, well,
I'd
to
probably
be fair,
watch
that's
it
kind of
too.
why we. I mean, that's not the whole reason, but that's kind of part of the reason.
That was a good
We
part-
felt
reason.
like we felt like
Nobody
we
did
needed
justice
we
after
needed
the
to
race.
go into the breach. We needed to fill the
I bet
gap.
that's why we picked this time slot.
That is
We had to
100%.
fill the gap because there's
100%.
nothing going on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, especially, I mean, NBC might be a little better, historically speaking, the last couple of years from what I remember, but Fox, bro, it's like,
Fox
we're gonna
isn't even
interview
close.
one dude, maybe two.
The
And
wild
then
part to me is going from Fox
done.
to Prime was a culture shock difference, like major difference. I don't expect from TNT or from Prime to TNT won't be that different. There'll be a little difference, I think.
The
And then
bar is set
TNT
high.
to MS or to NBC will be a difference.
The bar is set high.
But yeah, I think Fox better come next year with some stuff because they look
Well,
terrible.
even
now.
I mean, even TNT. It's like, dude, like
I'm
like
hoping
even one of the
TNT 's
biggest,
similar.
the biggest thing. I'm hoping so as well.
Yeah.
But also, it's like what we were mentioning, like during the race. It's like, man, last quarter of the race, no commercials.
It was
I
amazing.
mean,
Like, bro, like run all the
All
commercials
the
you
triangle.
want the rest
Yeah.
of the race, but like that last,
that's
like,
just
quarter,
fan service, bro.
How about it?
And there's little tickers and there's little advertisements on screen. That's all fine.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. So Yenny says post race coverage commercial free doesn't make sense. Corporation doesn't make these corporate media outlets money. Advertisements on cable do. Prime is so money rich,
Yep.
and the demand is so high that it just makes for them to innovate. I agree with all that, except for if you have an app, a Fox Sports and NBC Sports app that everybody has or can get to because they have cable, right? So if you have that, why wouldn't you broadcast a show on your app?
It doesn't make sense. I don't know. Money.
Yeah.
It must be. They
you
must.
you
they
could
must have-
absolutely run ads on that.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming they must know the numbers of like the chances of people watching it. Our app only gets 40,000 people watching it. It's just not worth it.
yeah.
I'm assuming
I
it's,
mean,
it's
there's
a cost.
such a demand for it,
I agree.
and look what Prime has done. So I agree with you. If they do it how Fox does things, absolutely, it's gonna suck.
I think the difference is Prime now
It's
is
gonna suck.
now you have someone that did it. So now it's like, all right,
It's
let's
possible.
let's look at Prime's
Yeah.
numbers.
Yep.
Because if Prime made this a success, which I think they did. I mean, I haven't seen one person complain about the Prime coverage at all.
No.
Not
No
even-
one under
not a single
55.
Well, yeah, the people that the people that didn't have Prime and I don't know how to turn my computer on to watch this. Like, okay,
But you know the thing is now with these other brands, they've already missed the window.
yep,
They already lost all the best people. Dale Jr. is not available.
nope, he's gonna stick with Prime.
Steve
And
Letarte,
you know what?
Steve Letarte, I believe, is committed to NBC. but-
I love the fact I'm like Junior. Good on you for jumping with Prime because that's going to be the future of this sport.
yeah.
The way I see it. We also, and kind of talking about Prime, obviously now starting this week, this next week is when we start the in-season tournament,
I'm
the
excited for
bracket
that.
challenge.
Yeah, let's do it.
That
Yeah.
should be a lot of fun. I haven't had a chance to look at the brackets and see where.
Have they posted that
I
yet?
don't think they posted it yet.
I don't think so.
and I'm
but
sure it'll come out this week, though.
I'm
but-
sure.
we did figure out Denny Hamlin is going to be the 1 seed.
I think so. I'm pretty
We're-
sure.
Pretty sure.
If
we're
if we understand the rules,
we're not sure how Mexico plays into this, but we think
Yeah.
that's how it goes. So
The law of averages.
Yeah, we're not sure.
yeah.
Anyway,
Nobody's posted it yet.
So we're definitely excited for that. So definitely, if you guys get a chance and you guys fill out your brackets, drop them in either send it over to us on social media or drop it in the Discord.
Discord would be cool. Yeah.
Discord.
Yeah.
We probably should make. Maybe, can we open up a whole room for that?
We can do whatever we want, man.
I
Discord.
guess we could. Yeah,
we could.
yeah. Let's do that. Anyway, anything else we want to add before we start wrapping things up?
Atlanta next week.
Ooh,
Yeah, that'd be fun. Me and Jake are
It
going.
will be fun. Woo!
So podcast will be delayed till
Will you
Sunday.
go- yeah,
Sunday probably.
Sunday most likely. Well, depending on
I don't think I'll be getting
weather
back.
permitting.
So like,
Weather will be permitting, and we will be racing Saturday night. So speak this over us.
Okay.
oh, that would suck to get all the way out there and then it flipping rains.
Yeah.
That would stink.
Yeah, it would. Anyway, on a happier note, yeah, they're gonna be in up there. So check out socials because they'll probably be posting all kinds of things because the wives are going. So there's probably gonna be social stuff that's gonna be done up there.
Might sleep in the car for a night.
Oh boy,
That'd be rough.
that'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Nah, it'd be fun.
Taking the
be
kids,
fun.
right?
Yep.
That should be fun.
So that'd be neat. So yeah, we got Cup Saturday, 7 p.m. Xfinity, I believe, Friday night, about the same time.
You said there's no trucks, right?
There is trucks, 1
Trucks.
p.m. and Lime Rock.
Yep.
On
Bummed
Friday.
about this because
No,
I
on
want to watch
Saturday.
this race on Saturday.
On
Ooh.
Saturday, it's
Double header in separate states.
Yeah,
This makes so much
it's
sense.
1 p.m. trucks, 4 p.m. ARCA, 7 or 7:30 for
Where's
the
that?
Cup race.
ARCA, I'm assuming, is at Lime Rock.
I
It's not.
actually
It's not Atlanta.
It's probably there. I don't know. I will say like the graphic on there, they just kind of showed the times of what drivers were going to wear. Because I was about to lose it because the way they had it showing on the screen, I thought that we were getting trucks in Atlanta. I was about to be like, what?
Yeah.
That would have been sick, but no.
Nah.
Lime Rock. So
So I'm excited about that. In other news, I think a month from now, I'm going to Iowa for the race.
Yeah, that's crazy. I still don't know
Yeah.
all the rules to that, but
I can confirm they are going. Arca is going to Lime Rock.
okay.
So 1 and 4 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, no, we have a family reunion that happens to fall on that weekend.
How
30 minutes
convenient.
away from the track.
that'd be fun.
Please tell me is this very convenient or was this planned?
No, it's very convenient.
That how and
It was
how?
not planned. That dude, like it.
If you
Dude, it's
build
a
it, they will come.
huge family reunion.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried to do the same thing when it was my kid's birthday for going to Texas.
You should have.
It was close. I was working on it, but it didn't quite work out.
Yeah, I didn't mean delay that junk like a week, bro.
I'm gonna try
Make
next
that
week.
thing work.
I'm gonna try it next year.
Do
That
it.
is the most Jake thing ever. He's going to go to that family reunion and they're just going to
Hey,
be
gotta
like, Jake, I
go to
haven't
race."
seen you in 10, 15 years. And he's going to be like, going to the NASCAR race.
Yeah.
Going to
Peace
NASCAR
out.
race.
I'll be back after.
I was completely disinterested in this until I found out the NASCAR races this weekend.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna be here.
No, I mean, I knew it was coming in late July. I wasn't exactly sure. I knew it's late July, and then so I'm sitting there, I'm talking to some of the family, talking to my mom about like dates and when we might go, this and that. I'm like, wait a minute. And I pull up my phone. I'm like, we really should go.
All right. So before we
I do
before
think that's
we
funny.
wrap things
Whoa.
up, hold on.
Ryan Blaney is from Colin Ward. He says Ryan Blaney fell to his knees multiple times after the race and stayed down for a while, clearly exhausted. He got up briefly to do a TV interview and then went back down. He stayed down waiting for a safety team, AMR safety team, and then rode off to the care center on a golf cart. Looked like his legs were cramping, more than likely dehydration.
I would say that would be
Oh,
my
he
guess.
was sick last week in
Dang.
Mexico. So.
Isn't he sponsored by Body Armor?
Yeah, bro.
Hey, Yenny, happy
No,
birthday! Happy
just saying.
early birthday then.
Happy
Yenny's birthday is on
to
Friday.
Yenny.
So
Oh, man.
I
Congrats.
think it's Mark's birthday today too.
yes,
It
it
is
is Mark's
Mark's,
birthday.
man.
Mark.
Shout out on the podcast.
Yep.
Happy
Shout out to
birthday.
A couple of quick questions, real quick, before we wrap things up. So, how many more winners do you think we'll have? 9 races left in the regular season. We've got 3 road courses and 2 super speedways.
I'm gonna go with 3 more winners.
3 more winners.
3 new ones.
3 new winners.
Yep.
It's probably about right.
I would say 3.
Hmm.
I think Reddick's gonna get his win.
Chase, maybe.
Chase is very possible.
I don't know.
I see Busher at a road
Busher
course.
could be
I,
one.
don't
I mean,
see
that's-
Elliott winning though.
Priest, maybe. Hocevar.
No.
Hocevar could be one.
I could see Hocevar just because of how he's run lately, but
Yeah. I think we see
Gibbs.
SVG win multiple times.
At the road courses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to lock up, I think, Atlanta. I think we see, the good guys are going to be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guys that are fast are going to be fast.
Suarez.
I think Daytona, to me, is probably the real only wild card we have left.
I think 2
I don't
or
know.
3 drivers is a safe bet.
Two
Yeah.
or three that haven't
2 or
won?
3 that have not won.
All right, so tell me one.
Pick one.
What do you mean?
Just
Pick one that hasn't won yet.
Pick it. Oh, okay.
Pick-
Oh, I was gonna go
pick-
Reddick. Wait.
Yeah, that's
No. He's saying pick either 2 or 3.
Oh, pick 2 or 3.
Right?
Oh,
No, he wanted to pick
No,
a
just
number.
one. I was just saying,
okay.
just pick one.
Jeez.
Reddick
yeah,
hasn't won yet. Gonna
yeah,
win.
yeah.
Busher.
Busher, I think I agree with you.
Too fast.
Hocevar.
See, I think
Hocevar.
Hocevar.
Ty Gibbs.
That's another.
Nah.
Nah.
Chase Elliott's finished third like the last 3 races.
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
I'm just saying, man.
Chase Elliott's fired this year, bro.
Okay.
Get Hocevar in there.
Those
Who
are
knows?
to the 9.
Bowman,
Bro.
Chicago.
Oh, all of them. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, last question I have, and this is serious because I'm dying on this hill, y'all. How many turns does Pocono have?
It's obvious.
There's only one clear
It's
answer.
clearly obvious.
Yeah, it's only one.
It's 3.
It's
Wrong.
5.
3.
It's 5.
It's 5.
It's 3.
It's 100% 5.
It's
It's not
5.
5. There's not 5.
You
They
can't.
only paint 3 turns on the track. I trust the track.
Let's not
No.
bully him. He can't count.
That is fair.
No, I can't read. It's
Oh,
different.
I'm sorry.
Same
You
difference.
idiot.
Same difference.
What an idiot over here.
Jeff?
Uh,
What did they tape on the wall?
I'll
So-
give you
so-
multiple
What did
options.
my whole life. No,
Three?
no options.
Is there 3, 5,
my
or
whole
6?
life watching NASCAR since 2002, I've always said it was 5.
You're
Yep.
wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
I've always said it was 5.
I'll see. Jeff,
I've
you're
always
right.
been under the impression it was 5.
It's always been 5. I don't see how anyone could ever see this any different.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Why are you doubling the corner?
Because you have a turn going into the turn, and you have a turn coming out of the turn.
How many turns do they paint on the side of the wall?
That's
in turn one?
completely irrelevant.
Doesn't matter.
That's literally what the
They
track's
can't
asking.
count
No,
either.
it doesn't matter.
It's their track.
They can't count.
They don't know how to do this.
It's their track.
No, it doesn't matter.
There's two
They have
turns.
5
It's
turns,
triangle.
and they're not the only track that has 5 turns.
Listen, this is all because Big NASCAR wants to keep us from this.
It's conspiracy, man.
I'm telling you.
Bro, they're just afraid of what a 5-turn racetrack could do.
They're really confused how in the world a five
Why-
turn triangle
I
works.
saw a video. It's like, why do you want to be so poor you can't afford a 4th turn? Instead, you could be like, we're so rich, we have an extra turn. We have 5.
Big, you know what it is? It's actually big mathematics.
Just trust
They
the
can't
walls,
figure
man.
out how to make 5 turns work in a triangle.
It says
I don't
turn
know where
3.
you get 4 turns. That's not right.
That's
Wait,
not
unless-
four.
Do we want to?
Four.
How'd you get 4?
Maybe it is 4, and the tunnel is the tunnel dog leg.
Well, hold on. Phoenix's dog leg doesn't count as a turn.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
Steve Letarte said it should be a 5. It should be a 5th turn too.
Yeah, it should.
I don't know what Phoenix is. I don't know what they designed that track
It's
after.
an abomination.
It's like a stain on.
Ooh, JFB makes a really good point. Totally off the.
Okay, I will say
Totally
this.
out of the blue. Michael Jordan hasn't been to a race in a while.
I will
Yeah.
say this. I looked it up on Google and I asked ChatGPT, and both of them say 3 turns.
Wrong.
Wrong.
But I
The
believe
world
it's
may never
wrong.
know.
Ask Gronk. He might know.
Yeah, I
Ask
believe it's
Gronk.
wrong.
Kuzma
I
says
trust it.
all ovals only have 2 turns. That's disgusting.
That is
I mean,
Bro.
technically.
that's rage
No.
bait right there.
Wait,
That's
you gonna
rage
argue?
bait.
You gonna argue for that, but you can't argue for 3 turns?
No, absolutely not.
Like,
No, it's good. I like
what's
Kuzman.
wrong with you?
I like Kuzman.
I like Kuzma too. He's a cool guy.
No, 100%.
Killed it on
There's
the
5.
points this week.
There's 5 turns. 100%.
You guys are so wrong.
No, absolutely not.
You're so wrong.
No, I'm not. I'm not wrong at all. I'm telling you, there's 5 turns at Pocono.
Wrong.
But it's a good point to add in the song.
Wrong.
In the show.
Wrong.
3 turns.
No, triangles have
You broke your
5
triangle.
turns, not 3.
Well, Google says
Get your prime day triangle.
I mean,
out here, bro.
I mean, it has 3 corners, but 5 turns.
Yes.
I love triangles. Well, this has been
All right.
fun.
It's been a good time. So, all right, everybody. So make sure you like, share, and follow on all social platforms. Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and make sure you join the Here for the Speed Discord. It's a community of fans, by fans. I'm sure I got that wrong. But we're all going to be dropping all kinds of different content, especially about next year, or next week, next year, whatever I'm saying. Jeez, I'm going to bed. See y'all. Yee yee.